Welcome to another episode of OBH Sports. This episode is sponsored by Snubbed Coffee. Head over to snubbedcoffee.com or snubbedrecords.com. Takes you to the same place. Click on coffee. Buy some coffee. Our signature roast, Punk Roast, is single origin from Medellin, Colombia. Snubbed Coffee. Get some coffee.
You ready, champ?
I've been ready for this my whole life.
Then you take us out on feet.
Hey, good looking.
What's up?
You're looking at it.
I'm Ron tonight.
Hello, Ron.
Ronnie Shakes.
The only thing I'm worried about is like we always end up just doing whatever we end up doing. And then Ron's the voice of reason that's like, all right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta fucking go.
Not tonight.
Ron's always like, all right, it's been an hour. I gotta go take my Metamucil. I don't know if you looked at any of our fantasy league today, but I am 1 game and 30 points away from handing Ronnie his first loss.
I know we both have close games going on, as a matter of fact.
We're not very close, but he does have Christian McCaffrey tonight, and I have George Kittle, but I'm up on him by a little over 30 points.
You're gonna win that one.
I should win that one.
You're gonna win that game. Mine, on the other hand, is a little more tight. Yes, I am down by 16, and I have Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk to play, and he has TJ Hawkinson to play.
And I'm pulling it up right now because
That's a close one right there. I mean, I should come out victorious.
That is a close one.
I should come out victorious as long as Purdy has a good game. I should be fine, and hopefully, maybe part of him having a good game is Brandon Ayuk on the receiving end of that. Minnesota's garbage
up here.
Or Minnesota's defense is garbage against the pass this year, so I should be fine. And I can't believe my kicker.
That is true.
My fucking kicker, man. So Nick Folk, who I have now had for, I think, 4 straight seasons, because for whatever reason, nobody ever wants him. Nobody ever drafts him. People draft kickers, but nobody ever drafts Nick Folk. And I always end up picking him up on the waiver wire. And for the last 4 years, he's been a top 3 fantasy kicker. 4 straight years. I don't know why nobody ever fucking picks him up, but I ended up with him again this year off the waiver wire. And it was his bye week this week, and he's been killing it.
I see that now.
And my other kicker, Brett Maher, who is now the Rams kicker, who has also been killing it this year. Like he's a top, I think he's top 5, top 7 fantasy kicker. Oh man, did he ever shit the bed this week? Of course, I have to play him. I'm
looking at that -4. Also, you should have started the Commies defense. Jesus Christ.
I know, but the Steelers are like, I mean, they weren't that great. They put up like 20, but the Steelers are a top 3 fantasy defense. So like, I'm playing them when I get the chance. They're gonna get played. I mean, the Commanders aren't a terrible fantasy defense either, but my kicker, man. 2 missed field goals, both of them from 50+ yards, and a missed extra point. He did make 1 field goal. But if he hits both those field goals and that extra point, because they were both 50-yarders, instead of -4, he has me 20 as a kicker.
It's a gamble. That's really a gamble.
Mm-hmm.
And I see now that you had bum-ass Josh Allen. What are you going to do? I never knew that. Never knew that.
Hey, he got.
It was good to see the Bills lose yesterday. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, the Bills. What a game up there in Foxborough.
It was.
Mike Gesicki and fucking. I know you know a little bit about Mike Gesicki, former Dolphins tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But Mike Gesicki and Mac Jones doing their whitest rendition of the gritty at the end. I know you seen it, and I know you've seen Mike Gesicki do it in a Dolphins uniform too, because he has.
He just didn't even try to improve.
Yeah, not at all.
He was just like, you know what, I suck at this. I'm going to continue to suck at this, and I'm going to have my quarterback now suck at this as well.
And so, which reminded me of Gesicki doing it. I think it was like from a couple years ago when he scored like a game-winning touchdown or something. I think it might actually been against the Pats too. But he did the really shitty white boy version of the gritty. The only better one that I've seen than him doing that one was my Commanders offensive lineman, a big boy, Sam Cosmi, our right guard, did it in the preseason this year. I believe it was against the Ravens, and there was like a fight going on in the end zone where like Nick Gates got up in somebody's face because they did something fucked up, and like the big fight. Oh, you know what? Actually, it might have been in the regular season. It might have been after Logan Thomas got decked and concussed in the end zone after holding on to a touchdown pass. But whatever it was, there's like a scrum going on with the entirety of both teams on the field, like by the goalpost, like all going at each other. And Sam Cosmi just kind of moseying around like by the scrum, do it because it was a touchdown as well, doing like the big man white boy version of the gritty. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's the best thing ever. Because it's like way worse than Gesicki's is. And Gesicki's is bad.
Gesicki's is fucking bad. Mac Jones is worse than Gesicki.
Yeah.
And you know what? But the big man gets a pass, period.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the big man gets a pass. Like his is better. But it's worse, but it's bad. It's so good.
It's better because it's worse.
Yeah, it's so good. And I'm almost positive it was in the second week of the season when Logan Thomas caught that touchdown. Who the fuck were we playing? Damn, who do we play in week 2? We won because we started 2-0. Now we're 3-4. Oh, by the way, fuck the gritty. I got to get into this for a second here. You and I have had many talks about Ron Rivera. It's time to go.
Oh, come on.
No, it's time to go. We got blown
but he
out.
beat cancer.
Yeah, right. I know. But like, you know, we're not killing him off here. It's time to go. So we got blown out earlier this season by the Chicago Bears. Blown out. Like blown out. 40-20. Made Justin Fields look like Joe Montana. DJ Moore in that game had 260 some yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, we were not prepared to play the Bears, which is a team in the NFL that everyone except us has demolished. I mean, even the Broncos didn't demolish them, but they still beat them. We are their only win, and they fucked us up. And that might be the worst coaching staff in the last 10 years, if not in the last 20 years. Their coaching staff is just so bad.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, and we got our asses handed to us by the Bears because our team was not prepared. Like, they were not prepared to play that game. Well, the same thing happened yesterday against the Giants. The Giants, this Giants team might be one of the worst teams the NFL has seen in the last 10 years. They're bad. They're really, really, really bad. And we got manhandled by them in the first half. Again, not prepared. 100% not prepared. Our offense, which the entire season, everybody has been screaming about the Commanders' offensive line. It is historically bad. We have let up now the most sacks through 7 games in NFL history.
How many is that?
40.
What?
We have allowed 40 sacks in 7 games now.
It's 40. Like, that's the number.
40. The Giants came in to yesterday's game with 5 sacks on the season. They had 6 yesterday. 5 of them were in the first half.
God, they almost have a sack for every year I'm alive.
Yes. And if you go back and watch, it looks like I watched this one YouTube channel I follow, has like all 22 and does like an all 22 thing every week. and for just Commander stuff. And I was watching some of the all 22 on just the sacks this morning, and like the insanity of that offensive line. Like you're seeing one guy take out 3 interior offensive linemen. Like simple stunts just destroy our offensive line. Like they don't know what to do against stunts. And I don't understand how an NFL team in game 7 in week 7 can't figure out stunts.
So
like it's so bad. And even when we were doing max protect and having like 6 and 7 guys back, the running backs picking up the wrong guy, the linebackers getting through on a delayed blitz, the cornerback is untouched coming in from a nickel blitz. It's just we got 6 and 7 guys back to protect, and 4 guys are beating them consistently. It's unbelievable.
So it's roughly 6 sacks a game, roughly, which is quite a few sacks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that number was so high. That's a little fucked.
Our offensive line, like Eric Bieniemy, is not the guy. So this is what's happening. And Sam Howell's looking good during all of this somehow.
Yeah.
But this, and so we've allowed that many sacks. And according to Pro Football Focus, we also have faced the highest number of perfectly covered plays in the secondary.
Shit.
Of any team. So Eric Bieniemy is basically not fixing anything that's on the offensive line that's been atrocious all season, and he's running our receivers. Nobody can get open because he's running our receivers on medium to deep routes every play. And we only have 3 run plays. We have a shotgun run up the middle, which we run 90% of the time when we do a run, but we don't run very often. I mean, we at some point over 2 games this season, we had 55 consecutive passes without a run.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There's no fucking there's no guessing there.
Correct. And when we do run the ball, it's 3 plays. It's 2 from shotgun and 1 from under center. And the 1 from under center is basically like a rendition of a zone run. It's a single back, like zone run to either side. And it's not even really a zone run. They only kind of run zone with it sometimes. No fullback in there. They might put somebody in motion. And then we have 2 runs from shotgun, a run up the middle, and like basically like a sweep.
And it's usually when they run the ball, they're running 3 consecutive running plays. Like it's like, all right, 3 and out run plays. Like,
and yeah, and it like I want to say it's like 97% of the time this season we have run on first down and then 3 straight passes or 2 straight passes. It's run, pass, run, pass, run, pass. It is a massive problem. And Eric Bieniemy, after this game against the Giants, because our defense only allowed them to score 14 points, and it was all in the first half. And we scored 1 touchdown, and it was off of a muffed punt where we got the ball in the red zone. And in that drive within the red zone that we scored that touchdown, we actually had to get a 4th and 1.
Oh, that's fucking brutal.
Our coaching staff has to go. Our entire team is completely unprepared against the worst teams in the NFL.
Maybe they just really like the waltz, right?
Dude.
Listen, like, because you're like run, pass, run, pass. Like they just like that really 3/4 timing in music. They're trying to make it, they're trying to get it into sports.
Because here's the thing. When we played the Eagles in Philadelphia, we came out firing on all cylinders. Our team looked completely prepared. We took them to overtime. So how can we look that good against one of the best teams in the NFL and then lay just 2 complete fucking duds of a game? Like, we're talking about historically bad teams who are the Chicago, historically bad. They came out of that game, I think, with 9 sacks. They sacked us 9 times in that game. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the 9 sack game. It might have been a different one. That's the most we've allowed in a game this season was 9. And I'm pretty sure it was against Chicago.
Yeah, you can't really sugarcoat that one.
Our team is just complete. Our coaching staff, I don't understand. Here's another thing yesterday. This is why I'm like, it's Ron. Ron's got to go. Yeah, I'm at the point now because at the end of the first half yesterday, when we're down 14-0, and we possibly could have put a drive together. We had 2nd and 5 with with 2 timeouts and like about around a minute left. I could be wrong on the timing here, but I know it was at the end of the first half. I think it was around a minute. We take a delay of game, right? We take a fucking delay of game, which then pushes it back to fucking 2nd and 15 or whatever. It might have even been 3rd and 5 and pushes to 3rd and 15. Or maybe it's 3rd and 10 at that point. I think delay game's only a 5-yard penalty, right?
I believe it's 5, yeah.
But instead of like Ron Rivera on the sideline just lets the delay of game happen, and they've got the fucking camera on him, and he's just sitting there like this with his arms crossed, just kind of looking around like nothing's fucking going on. And then boom, we take a fucking delay of game penalty when we're trying to
what?
And we end up punting. And they almost put fucking points on the board.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. What every other head coach in the NFL is like running around on the sidelines. Timeout, running up to not take a delay of game penalty there. To try to put points on the board. And Ron's just standing there with his arms crossed, like looking around in space, like there's nothing fucking going on.
Oh, that's brutal. Welcome to the Tannehill years, bud.
Yeah, but see, and this goes back to last year when he started Carson Wentz in that game when Carson Wentz came back and we got blown out. And
that sucks.
And that was what made us fucking not make the playoffs, because if we would have played Heineke in that game, we probably would have won.
Dude,
and,
Carson Wentz is such a bum.
Yeah, and after the game, and it was because Wentz came back from it, and after the game, like one of the reporters in the press conference says to Ron, like did you guys, possibly being eliminated today play into this or whatever? And Ron just like looks at him and just like dead in the eye with all honesty and is like, wait, we can be eliminated today?
I remember that. Jesus Christ.
And we did get eliminated that day. It was going to take like 3 separate things to happen, but they all happened and we did get eliminated. But if we would have won, we would have controlled our own destiny still.
Okay. I remember that. But was he 100% being serious, or was he kind of being?
He was.
He wasn't being sarcastic.
That is confirmed. Nope, that is 100% confirmed. He answered questions about it afterwards.
Maybe he was still on that Oxycontin, dude.
I don't know, man, but like, it's fucked up. Like Ron's got to go.
Tough, dude.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
That's brutal. That sucks because I like the guy so much. But I mean, if everything you're saying is true, which I know it is, you do your research and you watch the games, and that's fucking brutal.
And Eric Bieniemy cannot call plays. He's worse than our last offensive coordinator, Scott Turner, and that was the reason why he got fired, was because of his play calling. The dude actually had a pretty decent offense, good scheming, stuff like that. He was just a terrible play caller. That's why he got fired. Bieniemy's worse.
Oh.
We're in for a season. And the shitty part is the last 4 years with Ron, all we needed was a quarterback. And Heineke was our best thing. If he would have played Sam last year, we may have made the playoffs. We may have been great last year if Sam Howell would have played. And fucking during training camp this year, when Howell got named the starter, Ron gives another, interview in a press conference, basically a statement. He says, this might have even been in the preseason. He said, man, if we would have known Sam Howell was this good, we would have played him early.
How did you not fucking know?
What? You're the head coach of the football team. How do you not know?
How do you fucking not?
This good or not? How do you not know?
Oh my, dude, that's brutal.
That was one of his literal statements before the season started this year. After we started seeing him play.
That sucks.
How do you say that as a head coach?
That sucks, dude.
Yeah, and Sam Howell is that good. He is, but the team around him and the coaching staff right now may ruin him. The dude is tough as nails. Like, he's got a great arm. Through the worst offensive line in the league and the most perfectly covered passing plays, he still has 9 touchdowns, 7 picks, and like fucking almost 1,800 yards, I think, 1,700 some yards. He's the best quarterback statistically in the NFC East, period. That even over Jalen Hurts. Like, through all that, he's still shining. And on top of that, he's got more than 100 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown as well.
You figured you want to try and do a little bit to help this guy out, huh?
Yeah, let's protect him. Holy fuck.
Fuck, dude. At least put a fullback there that'll fucking help block something. Put a tight end on
and on
something.
On top of all that, our right tackle, Andrew Wiley, who we signed to a 3-year deal from the Chiefs, who came with Bieniemy, has just been monumentally bad. Just utterly bad. I'm pretty sure he's dead last in PFF ratings for tackles in the NFL right now, for starting tackles. And we have this backup tackle, Cornelius Lucas, who has played for us, started for us because of injuries the last 4 seasons and been really, really good when he's been in. As a matter of fact, he had to start at left tackle last week because our starting left tackle had his wife had a miscarriage. Charles.
Oh, Christ.
I know. It was really sad. It wasn't a miscarriage. It was sorry, I misspoke. Not a miscarriage. It was premature.
Either way,
too premature. They lost the child, and it was really, really sad. And heart
that's awful.
The Leno family, because he's a great dude. He's one of those dudes around the NFL that everybody knows is like just being like a stand-up guy.
You hate to hear it.
But so Lucas played in place of him. Lucas hasn't played this season for some reason, and he's been outstanding for us the last 3 years. Lucas comes in, plays backup left tackle, does a better job than Leno's done all season. And he's a swing tackle. That's very specifically why he's on this team. He can play both sides very well. Why he is not starting over Andrew Wiley? The last 3 seasons when Lucas has started, he has been a top 10 right tackle according to PFF. All 3 seasons. Why he is not playing over Andrew Wiley is just boggling everybody's mind. Like the whole Washington media, the whole fan base is like, why is Cornelius Lucas not in? Because it's not even as bad as you would think. Oh, okay, if he starts, then we don't have a swing tackle to back people up. Wrong. We kept the 10th offensive lineman coming in from the preseason because we kept another swing tackle. A guy who played so well in the preseason, he played his way onto the team. So he's been, one of the undressed players every week. So we have another swing tackle, and we would still have Wiley who could back up at right tackle.
So he's definitely not injured.
Who?
The guy you're talking about is not playing.
No, he's definitely not injured. He hasn't played a snap all season. He's been a healthy scratch. You know how you have to like not dress like 5 players every game?
What the fuck?
He's been one of those every game. Yeah. So we could start Lucas and then dress. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But then dress that other tackle, and then we would have 4 tackles.
I mean, that's what they call depth, which is great.
I don't understand. Nobody understands. So like the coaching staff's got to go. Like the team's not prepared. Weird decisions are being made. Like obvious decisions.
I mean, if it was like, all right, we have explanations for what the fuck's going on here, then it'd be like, okay, all right, we understand. Like, all right, that he's injured or he's going through this, blah, blah, blah. But
yeah. And then
just fucking ghosting the dude.
We didn't take an offensive lineman in the first 2 rounds, which everybody thought we were going to, right? Well, we took 2 corners, one a true man, potential number 1 corner, and then we took another guy who's like a corner safety hybrid who could maybe play nickel at some point in his career. Pretty good at safety. So the first guy, Emmanuel Forbes, we took in the first round. There was a couple guys available that a lot of people thought, including Rodriguez, the guy who has been really good for the Patriots, but then got injured for the season, who everybody had was the consensus was the number 1, the best corner out there. He was available when we took Emmanuel Forbes. Because Forbes was like the best ball hawk of the safety. Forbes has been starting. He has not been good. He's been left out on islands. But the other guy, our second round pick, Quan Martin, as the coaching staff has said, or Rivera specifically, well, we have some really great players ahead of him on the depth chart. So he just our starters are just too good for him to get in the game. He hadn't played a single defensive snap through 5 weeks of the season. Only special team snaps. So week 6 last week comes around, and Forbes got benched because he'd been so bad. Martin comes in the game, makes a couple plays, looks pretty good. Then this week makes a couple more plays. A really good special teams tackle, a really good pass deflection on their first drive to send them to fourth down. Dude comes in, looks lights out. And previous to him being in there, our secondary has kind of looked god awful.
So that's great news.
Yeah, but it's great news that they look better, that he's playing well, but like at the same time, this guy hasn't played a defensive snap all season, and we're told that he can't play his way onto the team because he's not as good as anybody else. But then he comes in the game and starts making plays, looking better than anybody else.
Yeah, he Cam Smith's it. I get it, dude. And so then you're like, why the fuck? What's going on?
Again, our coaching staff. How have you not seen that this guy's good? Just like you didn't see that Sam Howell was good. Like, what is going on?
You're making a lot more sense now when you're seeing it from an inside eye. You know what I mean? You kind of, obviously, if it's not your fucking team, you just kind of like see the highlights on ESPN. You're like, what the fuck's going on here? Like,
our offensive line was so bad yesterday, so bad, and we're only talking, 6 sacks. How many hurries and hits? I mean, fuck, Sam Howell must have took 20 quarterback hits yesterday.
Jesus.
When he wasn't getting sacked, he was getting hit every time he was releasing the ball. Like, it's that bad. I mean, the Giants tried everything in the realm of existence to hand us that game on a silver platter. They had an interception. They threw an interception. They had 2 fumbles in the red zone that they turned over to us. A muffed punt that they turned over and gave us field position in the red zone. 1 touchdown we scored. They had a pick 6. They should have had a pick 6. It was we play action back near our own goal line, and the guy runs right up the fucking A gap, and nobody even fucking touches him. So by the time Howell turns his head around, there's a guy right in his face on a play action, and he tries to fucking throw the ball away, but gets hit as he's throwing, and the ball goes right to Justin Thibodeau, and it lands right in his arms, and there's no one between him and the end zone, just completely empty field, and he fucking drops it. I mean, the Giants tried everything in thought to lose that game yesterday, and we still couldn't beat them because our offensive line was just so bad.
God,
how are we that unprepared in week 7 against a historically bad team?
I mean, they almost beat the Bills.
They did. I mean, so and they're getting better. Nobody saw the Giants being this bad this year. I mean, toward the end of the last season, they looked pretty good. They looked like they were turning a new leaf. And maybe they do get better this season. They probably are gonna. But still, they made so many mistakes in that game. And we could not capitalize on any of them because our offensive line couldn't even give fucking Sam Howell 3 seconds to throw the ball. His average drop back yesterday was 2.23 seconds.
God, that's so quick.
I know.
That's just not enough.
No,
time. That's not enough fucking time to do anything.
Especially when I can't even have.
I can't even fucking do one of those big dad's nieces in fucking 2 seconds.
Especially when every single passing play called, our fucking wide receivers are running routes that are longer than 12 yards long. All of them. Every single receiver out there.
Yeah. He's never heard of a fucking slant?
No. Nope. And our screen game is actually pretty good. But not a single wide receiver screen called yesterday. And then there was only 1 screen to a running back the entire game. And we lost yards on it. But it was a blown up play because the offensive line couldn't get it together. I mean, it's comical.
I mean, it just reminds me of the fucking Jay Cutler years when Jay Cutler was on Miami that one year, and our offensive line was so bad, and everything that Adam Gase would run was a fucking bubble screen. Every play was a goddamn bubble screen.
Yeah.
And it was like I can't take it anymore. I can't fucking take it.
There was one of the sacks watching the all 22 this morning where like their defensive, which would be their right defensive tackle. So if I'm the quarterback and looking up the field is going to be the defensive tackle to my left, my center left. Dude just fucking pushes inside, pushes the left guard into the center, and then the center into the right guard. And this motherfucking defensive tackle takes out all three of them, and the other defensive tackle would be on my right, stunts around him, and just comes right in and nails fucking Howell before he can even fucking plant his back foot. 3 dudes. The dude takes 3 dudes and rounds them up, and just one guy. Yeah. I've never seen anything like it.
Fucking turnstiles, dude. God, that's awful.
I know. Oh
God, that's terrible, dude. That's terrible.
Our season's over. There is no chance. If our offense looked that bad against the Giants, there is absolutely no chance that we are winning another game within the next 5 games. Because check out our fucking schedule. Sorry, this is my Commanders rant because I'm super pissed, and that
we're here for you, buddy. Even though I have my own turmoil, we're here for you.
Yeah, but you guys are probably going to make the playoffs. Our season is over now. Like, it's over. We're done. You can't get blown out by the Bears and the Giants and expect to make the playoffs.
Well, here's our next. Give us your feelings. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, right. Here's our next 5 games. So we got the Eagles again next week.
Easy.
Yeah, all right. Then we've got the Patriots, whose defense looks pretty good right now.
Looks really fucking good.
Then we've got the Seahawks, who also are looking pretty good right now. Then we got the Giants again.
Redemption.
Yeah, hopefully. Then we got the Cowboys, who have that pass rush. I mean, Michael Parsons, basically.
Is Micah Parsons the best defense player in the league?
Yes, he is.
I mean, this guy.
I think that's unquestioned.
I've never fucking seen anything like this before, dude.
It's unquestioned, I think, at this point. But
as much as I hate to say that, I hate cows. I hate the cows fans, dude.
So then we have all those games, which a few of those, maybe you say those could be winnable, right? But if our offensive line keeps looking like this, none of them are. But starting with the Cowboys, Micah Parsons there. If we can't get it together, that's a loss. Then we come to you guys after Thanksgiving, or you guys come to us, I guess. But we're not beating you guys. Then it's the Rams after that. Then it's the Jets with their defense after that. Then it's the Niners after that. Then it's the Cowboys again. If we get blown out by the Bears and the Giants try to lose to us and we can't beat them, there's no fucking way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we should have won the last 3 games. Bears, Falcons, Giants. That should have been 3 wins for us.
Yeah. Yep.
We should be 5-3 right now. But instead, we went 1-2 in those 3 games. Yeah, we should be 5-3 right now, 5-2 right now, not 3-4. If we were a good team, but we're not. So we're terrible.
Man, I feel like I'm talking to myself from 5 years ago.
But how, we were supposed to be good this year.
I know.
We made the right moves. We've been mediocre all through Ron's tenure. We can't get worse. All we needed was a quarterback. We got our guy. Nope, we got worse.
Yeah, I guess you're right, dude. I guess you're right. There's no other way to fucking to bend this. You're fucking right. I guess he's got to go. As much as I hate saying it, I fucking love the guy. But yeah, that's horseshit. It's fucking horseshit.
Our defensive captain, one of the best defensive tackles in the league. He who's normally calm and collected. He's a captain of the team. He blew the fuck up at the media.
I saw that. I did see that.
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck this shit. This is fucking stupid. Fuck." He was dropping F-bombs all over the place. He's like, "I'm sick of this fucking shit. I'm sick of this BS. It's been 7 years of this shit. I'm done." That was him calling out the coaching staff for the team not being prepared 100% without actually naming it. That's what that was. That was Jonathan Allen. The dude is a stand-up dude. He's a beast. He was calling out the coaching staff.
Oh, every fucking man has his limit, dude. You can only take so much of this shit, putting the work in, day out, doing your part, and then no one fucking else is, and no one's making sure anyone's ready to play a fucking game.
Well, I mean, the thing is, his partner in crime, Deron Payne, they both went to Alabama together. They were first-round picks 2 years in a row.
There's a lot of that going around, yeah.
Payne is our number 1 defensive tackle now. Payne is a beast. He's the one dude that's looked elite all season. He looked elite all last year. He's looked elite all this year. And Payne's the one right next to him, too. who's playing out of his fucking mind. The only one who's playing out of his mind. I mean, Allen's not playing bad by any stretch. If anybody should be saying anything, it's Payne, really. I understand why Allen is doing what he's doing without actually saying any names.
So if not Ron and Bieniemy, then who?
Well, I think Ron, regardless, new ownership, Magic Johnson keeps making comments after these horrific losses. He's not happy. He's one of the owners. You got to make Magic happy.
I believe that was his catchphrase back in the day as well.
Yeah, got to make Magic happy. So I would say currently, I mean, I don't think they're going to do this, but I would, honestly, from knowing this team, you fire Ron and make EB head coach right now, just to see what you got in a head coach with him. Because if it just keeps getting worse, then you know.
I mean, you kind of already know, right?
Well, no, because head coaches' jobs are different than coordinators' jobs.
Yeah, but that's dog shit.
EB's issue is play calling. You don't know if it's coaching. It's play calling.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But that puts a bad taste in my mouth, straight away.
EB's issue is clearly is play calling.
Okay,
but he is also meticulous and gets a fire lit under people's ass. So you never know, and you don't know really if the vanilla play calling is Ron being the head coach over top of him being like, no, we can't get crazy. We got to keep this simple, because that seems to be what his MO is. The defense is the exact same way. Super conservative, very vanilla. And nobody ever fixes anything. So I got to see if that's a Ron issue over top of the coordinators. Because I cannot imagine a team being this fucking vanilla and this fucking bad when you have all these players who should be great, and some of them are great. I cannot imagine a head coach seeing that and seeing people not being prepared, and it not being the head coach's fault, and the head coach not doing something about it. So the problem honestly could just be wrong.
What do you have? Yeah, right. What do you have to lose?
Right. Not much right now. We already got blown out by the Bears and the Giants. We're at rock bottom.
What if you're just hitting the wall on the way down?
I mean, that hurts too, Travis.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a little assy today.
No. I'm not meaning that as like it hurts me. I'm just saying, if you're going towards rock bottom and you're hitting the wall on the way, it hurts when you hit the wall as well. When you hit the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I know. You want to talk about some officiating?
Yeah, let's get onto that. My Commanders rant is over. That'll be all you hear from me for the rest of the season.
I was just
probably. No. That's just me saying it to everyone. I don't normally rant so much about my Commanders because we all know they're awful. But
you're passionate, and that's what matters.
Yesterday was just a particularly. It was one to get angry at.
Big oofs, they happen.
Oh, dude, it's an everybody's got to go game. That's what it was. But yeah, the officiating. Oh, by the way, speaking of officiating, the officiating in our Giants Commanders game yesterday was the exact same crew from the game at the end of the year last year, where the dude tore our fucking receiver down at the end of the game and no pass interference was called. And right before that, we had scored the touchdown, and Terry McLaurin was like on the line of scrimmage and asked the ref if he was on the line of scrimmage, and the ref gave him a thumbs up, and then the play went, and the ref immediately threw a flag for him not being lined up on the line of scrimmage. Yeah, same crew.
Dude, this shit is getting fucking mind-boggling, dude. Like, mind-boggling sometimes. And yeah, the Dolphins shot themselves in the foot a couple times, but dude, there was a roughing the passer call.
That was the worst roughing the passer call that might have been worse than the one that Chase Young got called against Atlanta when Matt Ryan still had the ball in his hand.
Right. Maybe I've ever fucking seen when people that, oops, sorry, I knocked the microphone. When the people, that's how mad I am. When people are like actually commentating the game and they're like, ew, ooh, because they usually try and like smooth things over. They're like, oh, I don't know, maybe one step, two. Oh, it's hard to say, Matt. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
When they're like, "Ooh, that's not a roughing the passer. Ooh, that's not."
And then
I'm
you
sure
get Gene Steratore coming on.
Oh God.
And he's like, "Yeah, guys, absolutely not. That was not roughing the passer." The player was trying to hold up as well as he only pushed him in the shoulder, and Jalen Hurts basically could have been doing push-ups as he was falling down because he got tapped so lightly.
Yeah. And then there was the personal foul on Jalen Carter, who said he flopped because that's what LeBron would do.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, okay, all right, maybe so, whatever. But dude, I'm not making any fucking excuses. We went in there and we got beat and we shot ourselves in the foot, but there was just a couple, fucking 10 penalties to none.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a fucking team. I haven't seen a fucking team play a perfect game ever.
And it's certainly not the Eagles, because I will tell you this right now, the Eagles offense is nowhere near as good as it's supposed to be this season, and the NFL is helping them out. That is for sure. They helped them out against us. They helped them out against you guys. Jalen Hurts has not been good this season. He hasn't been.
No, he hasn't. He wasn't what he was last season, but he hasn't been bad. Listen,
he hasn't been bad.
I'm not talking shit. That's I like that team. So that's fine. And that's why I have you here. You're the devil on the shoulder. But listen, dude, he made a couple great throws downfield to AJ. And dude, our cornerbacks are out. X was out last week. We had Cater Kohu and a fucking guy I've never heard of trying to play against Smitty. And I was like, what? So it's kind of what I expected. I just didn't expect the extra help.
AJ Brown is a fucking beast of a being.
And so, dude, is
he on steroids? I gotta say it.
Listen. That's why
he's like he looks like Barry Bonds now. 2 years ago he didn't look this big. Hey, whatever. I don't care. I don't care if he is or not. The dude is a fucking beast.
He's a beast. I fucking love Arthur Juan. I love Arthur. I do. I would have really loved to see Xavier Howard on AJ. That was the matchup I wanted to see. X is out again with the groin thing.
And what's up with speaking of the Eagles, what's up with fucking their other receiver, the guy who was a rookie last year, number 6? I don't know why I can't think of his name. He has not existed this season.
You're talking about Devonta Smith?
Yeah. Dude, he's non-existent this year. You haven't heard his name anywhere throughout the league.
I love Smitty. Smitty's good. Smitty and Waddle, they're like the same person, dude.
But I'm just saying, he was great last year as a rookie. He is having his sophomore slump like a motherfucker this year. You have heard his name nowhere this season. He is non-existent.
Yeah, it's true.
He's not even getting that many targets.
That's the same thing though about Waddle, dude. You don't see Waddle very much,
Not this season. No, I don't know what's going on there.
So dude, it's fun. It's funny
because
he
injured for a few games though.
Waddle,
yeah,
to start the season, yeah, and so that's why he's kind of had a slow start. But yeah, he'll get his catches because he's coming back, dude. But man, I wish our secondary was better, fucking healthier yesterday. That's for sure.
Wow, man, that was just that game should not have been as lopsided as it was. It was lopsided officiating. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. What is with the officiating? I know exactly what's with the officiating. Everybody knows what's with the officiating. Vegas is massively involved in sports now. I mean, give me a break.
You had to have seen this shit going around the internet today about the guy who officiated the game yesterday, Dwayne Height, I guess is his name, who's already been investigated for unethical reffing. And he lives an hour north of fucking the Philly Stadium. Probably a Phillies fan. I'm not even going to get into all this conspiracy theory. I'm just saying what's going around on the internet. I don't know if I believe it or what, but that's what's going around the internet right now. And apparently he was investigated before for this shit. And he was the one who, on the roughing the passer call, the main ref was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And dude, that was the worst roughing the passer call I've ever fucking seen in my entire life.
So
in my
bad.
entire life, dude. Yeah. That was like back in the day when me and my brother were kids, and like I would like push him over and he would like fall harder to get my mom mad at me. It was like that ref was my mom.
That was a very, very bad roughing the passer call. I mean, like
I'm not making excuses. Like we lost the game. You have to find a way to win a game. It doesn't matter. We lost the game. The Eagles beat us. Like that's
I get that. I'm just trying to see if they're just like replaying that in my head. If I could understand maybe where the ref was coming from, I would say the lateness of it would maybe be the only possible thing, but it wasn't really that late.
No, it was a step maximum. That's what
bad. It was just a bad.
It was just bad.
Bad.
And
call.
when he went for the push, he pulled his hands off. Like he pulled his fucking hands away. He did everything he could. He didn't even fall with him. He was standing up like this.
Yeah, like the this is why I say it's almost the worst one I've seen, or maybe because the one Chase Young had against Matt Ryan 2 years ago, where Matt Ryan still had the ball in his hands, and Chase ran up and pushed him, and Matt Ryan actually didn't even go down. He fucking turned out of it. He almost went down, but he turned out of it and actually got the ball off. And they called roughing the passer on Chase Young. I have no idea how that is even a thing, but it's a fact that officials take money for things. Look at the guy from the NBA, who got fired over it, and they did a whole big thing on him, and he tried to out the rest of the league and say, well, all officials do it, and they're connected with Vegas, and he spelled out this whole thing, and everybody said, oh, you're crazy conspiracy theorist. And the guy's like, well, I am a ref who got in trouble for gambling on games, and I'm telling you there's a ring and a racket, and that I'm not the only one. And everybody's like, you're a conspiracy theorist. And he's like, you guys are fucking crazy. I was doing this and got in trouble for it, and I'm trying to out everybody else because fuck the fucking craziest thing I've ever heard. And that's how it stood. Is he's just no, he did that all by himself. Oh, I don't care if he tried to out the rest of their little racket. He's crazy. That none of that's true.
All right,
of course there's rackets within refereeing, especially when Vegas is involved. Hello, organized crime.
Especially when Vegas is involved. But I mean, we saw that fucking Rams game earlier this season where instead of trying to go for the deep ball, they just kicked the field goal that made them no way. They could never win the game, but they kicked the field goal to cover the spread instead of going for the deep ball and trying to tie it up. I mean, it was maybe week 3 or 4. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But I was like, that was totally Vegas, dude. Totally.
Of course it
Vegas.
Yeah. Why the fuck did Josh McDaniel kick a field goal right there when it was like, what was it, 4th and 3, I think? And they
it was something ridiculous.
They needed a touchdown to tie the game. And there's like, what was there, a minute 18 left?
It was something, and they needed more than a touchdown. They needed like a touchdown and like to get an onside kickback or something like that. But they just kicked a field goal and like gave the ball.
I don't even think that's what it was.
Just to cover the spread. I'm like,
that wasn't even it, man. They were down by a touchdown.
You don't think so?
I know so. I remember. I remember they were down by 7, and on 4th and 3 with like a minute 18 left in the game, he kicked a field goal. He had all 3 timeouts, granted.
Listen, week 4
but
was
on
a
4th
long
and 3
time away.
in the red zone. They were in the red zone. They were like within the 10-yard line. It was like 4th and 3 from the 7.
Damn, I didn't think it was that bad.
And he kicked a field goal. It might not have been from the 7. It might have been from like the 17 or something. But he kicked a field goal to go down by 4 instead of trying to get a first down and a touchdown to tie the game within the 2-minute warning. That's what that was. That's why it was so suspect. Because it's like, whoa, what? That's the most conservative fucking play call I've ever heard.
And there's only one reason it would happen.
From an offensive coach, too, mind you. From an offensive coach whose defense hadn't really been the epitome of stopping the other team in that game. I mean, it was a low-scoring affair, if I remember correctly. So maybe the defense was playing decent, but
Rams, wasn't it?
No. For Las Vegas, the Raiders.
No, oh, dude, I'm talking about the Rams. That I was talking about the Rams in like week 3 or 4.
Oh, I'm talking about what the Raiders did. Like a couple.
My bad, dude. My headphones were like.
You said
my
Las
headphones
Vegas.
were like cutting in and out when you're talking about that, but I meant the Rams, dude. But regardless, it was the same scenario apparently.
Yeah, same. Yeah, because just absolute mind-boggling field goal call by what's his name, ex-Patriots offensive lineman. Why can't I think? Or I mean, offensive coordinator. Why can't I think of the head coach of the Raiders right now? Failed at coaching the Broncos, went back to be offensive coordinator of the Patriots. Why can't I think of his name?
What was his fucking name?
Why can I not think of this dude's name? I don't know. Regardless, he's not a good head coach.
Josh McDaniel.
Thank you. Yeah. I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Mine was, dude, the one I was talking about was the Rams. It was earlier in the fucking season, but it was like the same fucking scenario. So what are we even doing here?
But it would make more sense when it happened in Vegas by a Vegas head coach. Which is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. I have to look up the game I'm talking about, dude, so I don't sound crazy.
Are you sure it wasn't the Vegas game you're thinking of and they were maybe playing the Rams or something?
Yeah, at first thing that came up, I just type in Rams and it says Rams kick field goal with 4 seconds left to cover the spread.
Oh, with 4 seconds left. Okay, different scenarios. Completely different scenarios.
Yeah.
Because the one with Vegas, like, there was not a lot of time left.
It was 49ers.
It was against the 49ers.
That's right. It was a different scenario. They just, there's 4 seconds left. There's no way they can win, but they just fucking kick the field goal so they can cover the spread.
Maybe like that could be Sean McVay. That could be Sean McVay knowing what the spread is and just being like, yeah, fuck everybody who bet on the Niners. Like I feel like if I was a head coach in the NFL and I knew what the spread was, that I would make a move like that and be like, hey, fuck all these motherfuckers who just bet on the Niners. And I'm gonna fuck their spread up. If we can't win the game, I sure as hell ain't sending everybody home happy. I would do that. I 100% would do that.
If I can't be happy, no one's gonna be happy.
Well, number one, I hate sports gambling. I cannot stand it. And let's and for anybody listening out there who's right now is like, you talk about fantasy football all the time, you sports gambling, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Fantasy football is a little bit different because it takes some skill and knowledge of the sport to start people. And yes, I get you're putting your money in a pool and you're gambling on that's a little bit different. There's some strategy involved. The strategy part is what I like, and I will put money on that. But just straight up being like, Eagles or this team, bet on this team, got to cover the spread. No, fuck that. That's stupid. I can't believe they've allowed people to do this. It used to be such a fucking faux pas. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate seeing all the DraftKings ads constantly. I'm never going to sponsor this podcast.
I don't know where Ron is right now, but he's crying.
I hate it. I hate sports gambling.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I didn't know this about you.
I do. I can't stand sports gambling.
I don't gamble. Like I don't bet on sports. I have 3 fantasy football leagues. I don't bet on sports other than that.
Fantasy football. That's all. I don't bet on sports either.
That's fun. That's fun. You fucking one flat fee the entire year. You do the best you can. Like
yeah. It's a little bit different.
I think it
not
is.
as easy as this or that, you know, which is why
Ron-
the spread exists in the first place.
Listen, we just want everyone to know that Ron is not on the podcast because he's out gambling on sports. He's doing other things.
He might be gambling on sports.
No, we can't disclose that information. He's betting the house on the ponies right now.
And you know what's lost in all this after watching football yesterday and just being disgusted?
Bill's fucking losing.
Aside from more than likely both my fantasy teams are going to win.
I won all 3 of my games this week, and I'm assuming I won. I beat Ron. Ron, man, how the mighty have fallen.
I'm going to be 7-0 in my other league now.
Other league.
Dude, and the I was 6-0 going into this week, and the second and third place teams were both 3-2-1.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And this is a league where there's no divisions. This is 1 through 10. And it's winner takes all. But I have lucked into 7-0. It's insane. I have scored the second least amount of points in the league.
Yeah.
And the guy who's also in our league, Matt Farmer, who is last place, it's his league. He runs it. He's just gotten brutally unlucky this year. He's last place. Going into this week, he had scored 16 points less than me. 16 points less.
And you're undefeated.
I was 6-0. He was 0-6. But here's the catalyst going into this league. Tell me how I'm the second worst team. Nobody else had scored less than 600 points except for me and him. And I was at like 560 something, and he was like 14 points less. Or 18 points less, maybe.
You don't want me to answer that. You don't want me to guess.
But check this shit out. My points against in that league were 433 through 6 weeks.
Collusion.
And the second least amount of points against to any team in the league was 569. That's 100. Yeah, that's like 100 and fucking 30 some points more. Nobody else was under 5. And as a matter of fact, that other team, there was no other team that was under 6 except for the second place team. All other teams had allowed more than 600 points. 433 through 6 weeks is what I have allowed. So I literally played every team in the league just about on their worst day. Every game I played, it was against my opponent's worst game.
To segue into that, I feel like, because like I said, Ron has Christian McCaffrey and I have George Kittle, and I'm up 113-78. As of right now, Christian McCaffrey, your Lord and Savior, everyone's Lord and Savior, has -1 points. What's he doing for you guys? Nothing. Well,
I mean, he's kind of injured.
Good.
There was a lot of questions with whether he's going to be playing tonight or not. I think early in the week.
Yeah, so no undefeated teams in our league, thanks to old Papa Trav.
But, lost in this whole thing, and I feel like there's a giant reason for this, and I think you agree with me. So I'm going to change the pace a little bit here before we get off. For anybody who's still listening, baseball playoffs. It's playoff times in the Major League Baseball right now, and nobody cares.
I care.
You know why nobody cares? Yeah, but the vast majority of people, nobody's talking about baseball playoffs right now. Nobody. In the media, like unless you watch like MLB Network or something purposefully, baseball playoffs just aren't being talked about.
Yeah, guess it's kind of true.
You know why? Because all the good teams lost in the second round. Because their playoff format is flawed. Completely and utterly fucking atrociously flawed.
Take the breaks out of baseball. Period.
You can't give the best team 6 days off. 6 days off in baseball is like the season is over. Baseball is all about timing and
momentum.
It's all about timing and momentum. That's the entire game of baseball. You can't give the
entire
best
game,
teams.
dude. And
I liked the one game playoff that they
not
had the past few years. What was wrong with that? Why was
nothing.
why was a one game playoff? What was wrong with that? Why did they have to turn that into a 3-game series? They didn't need to. The one game series was beautiful. Basically created a game 7 in the first round. Boom, immediate excitement.
Yeah. Yep. The fucking stadium was filled. Everyone was there. It was electric. It was fucking electric. It didn't waste any time.
Yep.
The team that got a break, it was 1 or 2 days. It wasn't a fucking week. Like, get rid of the All-Star break. Get rid of the fucking...
It might have been 3, but I think it was 2 days. I'm pretty sure
2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like three is the maximum. 3 is the maximum.
But 2 is what it should be.
You get out there, you stay fresh. 2 is what it should be. It's fucking horse shit. It is fucking horse shit.
Because the team that plays in the one game playoff, they're doing everything they can to win it. So you're throwing all your best players out there. So boom, you go into that next round and you got a little bit of a disadvantage right off the bat. And that's what this is supposed to be. The best team.
It's called the wild card. Right. Yeah. It's the wild card. You got to go in there a fucking wild card. Like
you fucking rode it out for 162 fucking games. You're supposed to get first place. You're the best team. You're supposed to get fucking rewarded, not flattened out.
Not shit on, dude. And so I think that's the thing, is that people have football mentality behind baseball playoffs.
Yep.
Like, rest is bad.
Yep.
Rest over 1 day or 2 days is bad.
Yep. In football, you have a week off every fucking week. You have 5-6 days off every fucking week. 6 days off every week for the most part. That's what that is. It doesn't translate to baseball. That's why nobody's talking baseball playoffs right now. Because the baseball playoffs have sucked this year. Although I will say that I don't know if the game's going on right now or whatever, but the Phillies Arizona series is fucking hot fire. Actually,
tied. They tied. So Arizona won tonight, so it's 3-3.
Yeah. I mean, both the championship series have been great series. It's just nobody wanted to see any of these teams. Nobody cares about
Arizona. Who cares about the fucking Diamondbacks? Who cares about the fucking Texas Rangers? Nobody.
Aside from the teams, I mean, Mad Rangers every year always get voted into the fucking All-Star game because it looks like they have rampant fans. I will give them that.
It's the third inning in the late game, and the Rangers are up on the Astros 4-1. This is game 7 tonight. So whoever wins that game goes, and then I assume tomorrow would be the last Diamondbacks Phillies game.
And here's the thing. I don't mean nobody's talking about these games, but the national media is not talking about baseball playoffs right now. It's the playoffs, and the national media is not talking about these games. If you live in one of those cities, of course your media is fucking gushing about the teams right now. Unless you're in Philly, and then they're probably not gushing about the Phillies because Philly doesn't generally gush in their media. But they're probably talking about how the whole team needs to be fired and completely revamped because they lost game 6 tonight. But such is Philly.
and I won't touch on that, but I will say, being from the Southeast region, if the Braves, I didn't see how the Braves couldn't have done it. I
don't understand. The Braves should have won the World Series again. I hate the fucking Braves, but I feel bad that they lost the way they did because
they should. And it was because of that fucking break.
They were unbeatable this season.
They were unfucking beatable. Ask me how I know, because I'm a Marlins fan. They fucking beat the shit out of us all.
They were unbeatable. There's no fucking way the Braves got downed by the Phillies like that. There's no way. The Braves are such a superior team to the fucking Phillies.
To everyone almost in the fucking league. That team was fucking unbelievable.
Yep.
And the Southeast
Orioles
region
too.
Now.
The Orioles too. The Orioles did not. I don't think they lost a series all fucking season.
That made me sicker than anything.
I know.
The Orioles were the team that deserved to fucking go to distance, and the break fucked them.
And their incredible lineup got taken out of that series completely.
Fucked them, dude.
And their pitching failed. That's what happens because Baltimore's pitching. What is their weak? That's their weakness, is their pitching. Their pitching, while good, is not great. It is definitely good. But when their pitching would falter, their lineup would pick them up because their lineup is fucking amazing. And they could not hit worth shit in that fucking series against a team that doesn't even have that fucking great of pitching. The Rangers have like one really good pitcher.
Yeah. That's the thing with baseball. You go on a streak,
Yeah, but you
know?
can't get on but they just complete momentum. Like Baltimore had all the momentum going into the playoffs. They just
All the momentum, trust me.
just rolling people. 6 days off just killed that team.
I know. I fucking know. And
Them and the Braves and the Dodgers for that matter. The Dodgers couldn't get a goddamn thing going in the playoffs.
Well, the Dodgers notoriously shit the bed in the playoffs.
I mean, they do, but they didn't even make a fucking little peep this year.
I mean,
Didn't
right,
the Diamondbacks swept them? All three of those teams got swept.
Yes, I was all right. The sweep was the issue. The Dodgers getting swept. Okay, that I can believe that. The fucking Braves getting swept.
Yeah, and
like, what the
getting swept. All three of those teams
getting swept. Fuck? There's no way they didn't. Dude,
you can't tell me not one of those teams could win one game between the three of them in a 5-game series, mind you. Like,
yeah,
that also seems a little weird to me. I know those first series are 3 games now, but then like the first series that all these good teams play is a 5-game series after losing 6 days. Like, you're not even going to give them like potentially 4 days to get their shit back together. You're only going to give them 3 days. After giving them 6 days off, they get 3 days to put at most, or at the fewest, try to get their momentum back. No, I don't like it. I really liked the 1-game plan wildcard game. I don't like the 3-game series. I'm not a fan. I hope Major League Baseball and Travis, you and I aren't the only ones saying this.
No,
there's a lot of people in the baseball world right now who are saying the same exact thing. Nope, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good. You guys got some good rules this year. You made some good changes. The pitch clock and the pickoff thing is actually pretty cool. It's brought in the stolen base back.
Yep.
You saw what 2 guys get 70 stolen bases this year, or 1 guy at least, and another guy got real close.
It's fun. The pitch clock keeps it going. Yeah. The stolen base, I love it.
Great.
I love that.
Yep. It brought back
and honestly
stolen base. I love it.
That didn't. You know what it did? It just brought baseball back to the 90s because there was no pitch clock in then. But pitchers got the fucking ball from the catcher. They took the sign. They threw it. Repeat. Like that's what it was. They guys now, like before the pitch clock, they would go off the mound, like scratch their balls, scratch their head, call their mom, and then like finally look in on the fucking pitch, see what they need to throw. You know what I mean? Yeah. There does not need to be a 4-hour baseball game. That's not the World Series.
No.
You know what I mean? So I
dig those rules.
I love those rules. I love those rules. The bigger bases a little bit, trying to prevent injuries. I love that. That's great.
Yep.
But fucking dude. The playoff structure, the postseason structure is no good. Absolutely no good. No. And not to be redundant, do away with the All-Star break. Have 1 day, have a home run derby, maybe a 1 day of rest, and then get back to it.
Yeah, it's dumb. I wish All-Star games were as cool as they were when I was a kid, but they're not, and they're never going to get that way again. So just do away with it.
I mean, what the fucking All-Star game, the home run derby with McGuire and Sosa and fucking like just hitting balls that haven't landed yet. I
don't like what they've turned the home run derby into either. It's kind of lame, and I dislike it. And obviously, players dislike it because players don't do it who get asked to do it.
Yeah,
and then the league tries to like force them to do it.
Yeah, and that's the only reason like people like Pete Alonso won that 1 year. And because like no one else was in it, like, oh great, you beat a shortstop, Pete. Who cares? This is about the time when Ron will be like, all right, gotta go to bed.
I was about to say the same thing. It may as well be that the Ronnie Shakes time of the evening. We talked about football. We ended it with some baseball. Go Diamondbacks.
This one. This one's for you, Ronnie. Pouring one out for you right now, buddy. Wherever you are, whatever racetrack you're at. I mean, jobs.
I mean, somebody had to do it, I guess.
He's gonna totally edit that part out.
Fly, Dolphins, fly. Hail to the Commies. Whatever
Hail
the
to the
Jets
Commies,
do.
fly Dolphins.
Jets, Jets.
Fuck 'em.
I guess. Yeah.
Suck.
Hey, man, the Jets. Did they win again? Did that?
Yeah. Wait.
I feel like
Well,
they won,
last week.
no, they were on the bye. They were on the bye.
They
They were on the bye. They're 3.
were on the bye. That's what it was. They had a bye. Yeah.
Yo, if the Jets somehow make the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers has a chance to come back because
That's what I'm saying.
his Achilles injury was not like a brutal, like going to be down for a long time Achilles injury. It was a partial tear. It wasn't a complete tear.
Man,
So, like, he has a
that
chance.
video didn't say that. The video looked the video made it look like it popped like a trampoline spring. It was like
He apparently has a chance to come back if they make the playoffs. That's what I've heard and read a few times. But
we'll just have
they
to
keep
see.
looking. They look good. Their defense looks real good. Zach Wilson gets better each week.
It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's okay. They're okay. I'm not.
They've got a good defense.
It's okay.
It's a. I still think
it's okay.
Miami's going to win the division now. With the loss by the Bills yesterday, I think Miami's got the division now.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Well, yeah, no, you do. Anyways, all right. Well, let's call it an evening.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you.
All right, brother.